we have quiet back there, please? We're about to start the press conference. Thank you. My name is Henry Bayer. I'm the Executive Director of AFSCME Council 31, which is the collective bargaining representative for the employees who work at the Mabley Center. And we're here this afternoon with some advocates for the individuals who reside at the Mabley Center, with some family members, with some local elected officials, to express our opposition to the closure of the Mabley Center. In a few moments, we'll be testifying before COGFA to explain why we think it's a bad idea. It's a bad idea for this community. It's a bad idea for the people who work here. And most importantly, it's a bad idea for the individuals who reside here, whose care will be endangered if the Mabley Center were to close. So I'm going to ask, there are a number of people who are going to say a few brief words. I'm going to ask them to come up in order to make their remarks and talk about the adverse impact that closure of Mabley would have. And I'm going to start with Senator Tim Divins. Senator?
Well, thank you. I support Mabley staying open. I don't want to talk about its closure. I want to talk about staying open. I've been to Mabley a couple times in the last month. I invited the Secretary of Department of Human Services to tour the building with me, the facilities, which she did, and I appreciate that very much. As has been said, I think the most important thing here is the residents there. That's our number one concern. The function of government is to take care of and protect its citizens. That's our number one function, and these are the most vulnerable of citizens. And I think it's, put it in the governor's own words, it's heartless and naive to close Mabley Center. It's a facility that functions very well. The Parents Association is very active and involved. They're very pleased with the facility, how it operates, the service. And as you tour there, the one thing you'll see, and I'll make my comments later tonight, the one thing you see there is you don't get the sense that it's employee and residents. You get the sense that it's one big family there. And that's something that's to be appreciated and respected. I've had several calls from people that have suggested that we close Mabley. Those calls are all coming from the Chicagoland area. And I'd venture to say most of those people have not even come to Mabley to see it and tour Mabley, to see what it's all about. So I would invite them, as I have the governor, to come and tour Mabley, take a look at it, see what it's all about. And I am confident that there is enough money in the state of Illinois to keep Mabley open, and that's what we are going to try to do. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Next, I'd like to ask Representative Jerry Mitchell, who's been a longtime advocate for Mabley, to say a few words.
Thank you, Henry. I'm Jerry Mitchell. I've served this district and where Mabley is for the last 18 years. I've toured it many, many times, most recently just a couple of weeks ago. I talked to someone on the governor's staff that called me to let me know that they were considering the closing. And I asked that person, what would we do with the folks at Mabley? Where would they go? And she says, well, we're looking for community places for them. We think we can find. I said, these folks are the worst of the disabled. Don't you think if they could live in the community, if they could live independently, that would have already happened? These folks need 24-hour care. They get the best care in the world. If you've never seen the staff at Mabley and how they perform and how they work for these clients and how caring they are, then you just haven't seen it work. Mabley's like a college campus. I've got the same calls that Senator Bevins have gotten from people in the Chicago area saying we need to close it. And in their mind, it's like the warehousing of olden days. That's not what Mabley is. Mabley is more of an educational facility where they're caring for the clients that need that special attention than anything I've ever seen. It's worth every single cent we spend. We don't even have enough staff there that we should have, and they do a fantastic job. There's no reason to close this facility. What it costs the district is ridiculous to what it's going to cost us when we have to try to move these clients to a safe place. And I don't think we'll find a place as safe, as secure, and as caring as Mabley is now. I'm 100% against it, and I will be no matter what happens. I truly believe that this is a really, really wrong-headed move. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative. Next, I would like to ask Mayor Jim Burke of Mayor Dixon to step forward.
Thank you. I had want to clear something up. I mistakenly had said that, or left the impression that this would not have much of an impact, economic impact on the community, and I did not intend that at all. I mean, when you're talking about 160 jobs, talking about a big multi-million-dollar payroll, that definitely has an economic impact on the community. So I want to make sure that everybody understands that. I mean, if we had, if any city had a chance to get a new company on that would provide 160 jobs, they'd be falling over each other trying to get those jobs. But I never had been to Mabley until I took the tour with Jerry and Tim, and boy, what an eye-opener that was to see the Mabley. And that's when I said we need to do a video of this so that we can get people, the media, the legislators, the governor to see what the Mabley is really like. And like Jerry said, people are talking about it being a warehouse operation. I was reading some of the letters the editor of the Chicago Tribune, and they're talking about getting rid of these warehouse operations and put them into a community of group homes. There's nothing further from the truth. They do have group homes out there. It is a community setting, and they're taking people that are doing menial jobs that you could not, no company could afford to pay them to do the kind of stuff that they're doing, but they're being useful. Like, for example, unrolling little copper from little spools of wire. The day we were out there, they had accumulated about 2,500 pounds of copper, and everybody knows what the price of copper is. So they have the luxury of a group home setting, and yet they've got some management, some supervisory people there that are helping them lead meaningful lives. We have about 15 of these DVDs here for the news media. Any of the news media that want those, we will provide those. So anybody that will take a look at one of these DVDs cannot possibly come away with the conclusion that this is a good deal to shut this down. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor. Next, I'd like to ask Barbara Chino, who is the mother of two individuals who reside at Mabley, to say a few words. Barbara?
I have two boys that live at Mabley Center. This is very difficult for me because Mabley is the best thing that's happened to them. I have been in the community 6 times with my boys. They've been drugged. They've been sent to jail. They had a knife pulled on them. The community is not for all. And these agencies that believe it is, they need to live my life. They need to live the 42 years that I have spent trying to find a safe place for them. I have found that at Mabley. It is safe. The staff are wonderful. My boys are doing things that they were never able to do before. Moving them out of Mabley is going to be traumatic and devastating. I will probably lose one of my sons. He will probably die because of the change that Mabley handled. And I hold the state responsible. I do hold them responsible for any deaths that would occur for any of the residents at Mabley. We specialize for the blind. We specialize for the deaf. We specialize for those who have severe behaviors. And those individuals are thriving. We are taking away their home. Do we do that to them, these agencies that want them to be moved out? Are we going to them and saying, we're going to tell you where to live? We're going to put you in an uncomfortable situation. A blind person, it's difficult enough for them. And now we're going to move some of these individuals to a strange place with strange staff. This is not right. This is not right at all. And I think that this needs to be rethought. Mabley's a wonderful place. We are like the community. We are a community with the community. We live in a wonderful community. Dixon is very supportive. We need to rethink this.
Thank you, Barbara. Next, I'm going to ask Rita Burke, who's the president of the Illinois League of Advocates for the Developmentally Disabled.
Hello, thank you for this opportunity. My name is Rita Burke, and I am president of a statewide family guardian organization, and I can tell you the eyes of families and guardians across the state are on Mabley tonight. We want to see how the state is going to treat our family members with the most severe developmental disabilities. As you will hear from the families and guardians of the Mabley residents, all the human cost that closing their facilities will create, we can't add anything to that. But we know, you and I, that the bottom line is the dollar cost. That is what the state is looking at. And so we decided that we would look at that ourselves. There is a statement by ARC of Illinois and other advocates that you can take SODC residents and serve them in the community for $55,000. Well, we challenge that, and we intend to propose tonight a document that is the result of a study that we had done that shows that high needs individuals, like families, like the individuals who are served in the state-operated developmental centers, are expensive to serve. They will continue to be expensive to serve, whether they are served in the state-operated developmental centers or in the community placements. So we have in this document 3 scenarios of a real person who resides in a state-operated developmental center. The range of cost is from $146,000 to $270,000 to serve this person, depending on the services that he will receive in the community. And this is done for us with the assistance of private community providers, reputable ones. So we hope to express that although there are many other issues to consider, the human cost, even legal issues about whether people can be forced into the community, that there really is a financial cost to serving people in the community if they are to receive the level of care, anything approximating the state-operated developmental centers. Thank you.
Last, I'd like to call on the president of Local 172 here at the Mabley Center, AFSCME Local 172, Lynette Roach.
Thanks, Henry. My name is Lynette Roach, and I'm the president of AFSCME Local 172 at the Jack Mabley Developmental Center. I represent 163 employees at the Mabley Center. We take care of some of the most profoundly disabled people in the state of Illinois. We have deep, deep-rooted relationships with our residents and the families of our residents. There is no other facility that can care for our residents, as well as the employees of the homes at the Mabley Center. To take our residents out of their homes is shameful. Any politician who would want to remove the clients from their homes should be ashamed. We are here tonight with employees, families, politicians, and community leaders to protest this action. We have here tonight petitions from 7,880 community members in support of the Mabley Center staying open, and they will be given to the commission tonight. Thank you.
We will be giving testimony here this afternoon to COGFA to explain why we think it's a terrible idea to close the Mabley Center. Of course, COGFA's recommendation is only advisory. The governor is not required by law to abide by their recommendation. We are hopeful that, however, that they will recommend against its closure. In fact, if you look at the budget that the governor originally introduced to the legislature, there was sufficient money in the budget to keep Mabley open. But unfortunately, when the legislature went to work on that budget, they cut money for services not only at Mabley but at other developmental centers as well. And that's why we're in the predicament that we're in today. And that's why next week we will be in Springfield calling upon the members of the General Assembly to enact a supplemental appropriation which would keep Mabley open through the end of this fiscal year when the budget year ends. So that's our next mission after today. We will be going to Springfield We're hoping to get support from the local legislators. We're hoping that the local legislators here will let their leaders know in their respective caucuses that we need a supplemental appropriation if Mabley is to stay open so that the individuals who reside here can continue to get the quality of care that they currently enjoy.